Steve's, Saturday afternoons at 1 on KSJE.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, here to meet your urgent and emergent medical needs, whether they are COVID-19 related or not. Medical emergencies happen when you least expect them, whether it's a stroke, heart attack, illness, or injury. San Juan Regional Medical Center's caregivers are here to provide care to you and your loved ones. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Twelve minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, July 22nd, 2021. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM, over the air, of course, here in San Juan County, New Mexico. 103.3 FM over the air in Durango, Colorado, and streaming everywhere on the planet from our website, KSJE.com. Welcome also to our viewers who are watching this visual radio program, streaming live today to the KSJE Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter account. We're glad that you are with us this morning, everybody, because coming up in the next few moments, my conversation with the San Juan County Partnership this morning. We're going to be talking about a couple of topics today. First being some AmeriCorps opportunities in the area. That is first. And then the second part of the program, we'll be talking about the Housing Assistance Program for rental assistance and more through the San Juan County Partnership here in San Juan County. So that's coming up this morning. In the next few moments, glad that you're with us to hear that and see that program on KSJE and our visual radio platforms. Then, of course, next hour, it's Roving with the Arts. Mick Hess is going to play some great classical music for us. He is featuring Antonin Dvorak for you this morning on Roving with the Arts. That is coming up. And then don't forget this afternoon, today is the day, the start of the 2021 Connie Mack World Series. This afternoon at 5:30 p.m., KSJE's radio coverage begins of the World Series. We're so excited to be the radio station to bring you all the action, including the opening ceremonies today, and that's what's going on this evening. Coach's Fungo Challenge at 5:30, opening ceremonies after that, and then the exciting Home Run Derby, all starting at 5:30, all on your radio or online at KSJE.com. And of course, we'll have the rest of the games for you on KSJE all series long. So stay tuned for all of that coming up right here on KSJE. And thank you to the many supporters, including community members and local businesses who made all of this possible. We couldn't do it without your support. We are a community-supported radio station, a non-commercial radio station, so we thank you for your ongoing support of our efforts here at KSJE. Don't forget, of course, you can also connect with us on our Instagram page in addition to our other social media channels. And let's talk about the weather forecast, shall we? It is 71 degrees under partly sunny skies this morning. We are expecting a partly sunny day today, still a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the forecast, as you can see, for the next several days. 91 for a high in Farmington today. It'll be 67 overnight, 87 for a high tomorrow, 87 on Saturday, 86 on Sunday, upper 80s again next week, Monday and Tuesday, and overnight lows in the mid to upper 60s. Joining me this morning to talk a little bit about her job with the San Juan County Partnership. Terri Deale is here. She is the manager with the AmeriCorps program at the San Juan County Partnership. Good morning, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. AmeriCorps, for folks who maybe don't remember, is this kind of national service program where folks can sign up to work in either their communities or travel somewhere else and work in a different community, right?
Yes.
Very good. And so here in San Juan County, you're in charge of part of the AmeriCorps program, and you have some job opportunities available for folks?
Yes, I do. Our AmeriCorps site is in Hogback, New Mexico, at the Tedegon chapter. Mm-hmm. We have 3 half-time positions, which require 900 hours, and 4 quarter-time positions, which require 675 hours throughout the year. So, and we have 2 full positions coming up in the month of October and the month of December. So.
Got you. And so these positions are, as you mentioned them, they kind of relate to the amount of time that someone has to spend throughout the year, correct?
Yes.
And so they are kind of designed for folks then to not be paid necessarily, but they get some...
they get a Seal Award at the end of the year.
That's the name of it. I always can't remember the name of that award at the end of their service, but how does that work?
So the Siegel Award is rewarded at the end of the year after finishing up the volunteer hours. It usually can go, it does go to college loans, or if you are at the age of 55 and older, you are able to pass it to a family member or a grandkid or someone in need. So
it could pay for your education, or you could pass it down and pay for someone else's education, I guess, in your family. And that's kind of the whole point, is it's an educational award for these positions, right? And then the full-time positions do come with a little bit of a stipend, do they not?
Yeah, they come with a housing allowance, which allows you to get by with the minimal of everything that you need.
Right. So it's a little something.
Yeah.
Plus that other educational award at the end.
Yes.
So it does both of those things. And so you have these jobs that are available coming up. And so was there a deadline for folks to apply?
No. It's open. Whoever wants to apply, it's available now. Just so you know, half-time and quarter-time you don't get a stipend for it. So.
Right. Just the full-time ones.
Just the full-time.
Got you. And so folks can find out more online, right? There's a website, and that's how you would apply.
Yes. You can either contact the San Juan County Partnership at 505-566-5879, or you could email me at dealt@sanjuanpartnership.org, which is dealet.sanjuanpartnership.org.
Okay, very good. And talk to me a bit about these projects that the AmeriCorps folks are doing out in Hogback. So you mentioned that these jobs are located in the Hogback chapter in that area, right?
Yeah. So the Tedicon chapter site, we are helping veterans within that community. We help with minor home repairs. We help with rent installations. We help with painting, yard cleaning. We do non-perishable food drives for them, and we attend their meetings to hear what they have to say. So
got you.
That's the biggest help right there.
Right. And so these jobs could be any and all of these different things, right, for these veterans in that area?
Yes.
Good. And so AmeriCorps has been working in the area for a long time, right? And they kind of do focus on veterans issues and other issues as well. But veterans has kind of been one of the areas that the AmeriCorps service workers really have been working on.
Another one is environmental stewardship, where we're clearing out invasive weeds and we're reestablishing them with native species plants. And also we do trails.
Right.
Creating trails within the community for the community to have a better health.
Like walking trails, hiking trails, those types of things. So, and that's been going on too. And so these jobs that we're talking about this morning, though, these are mostly dealing with the veterans in the community, or do you have some other openings in those other areas too?
It's just within those two. Those are the only two: environmental stewardship and with the veterans.
Both. So both you have opportunities for both of those. Good to know. Yes. And so can folks pick and choose when they apply of that
no.
I want to work with veterans or I want to work on trails?
It actually applies to both. So.
Gotcha. So you could be doing either one.
Yeah.
When you apply. Understood. And so these are jobs that are fairly labor intensive, it sounds to me, right? There's not a lot of paperwork or sitting at a desk type of jobs. These are getting out, getting your hands dirty, and really getting stuff done.
Yes. Actually, it's a lot of fun.
Right. And you've got some experience with AmeriCorps, don't you?
Yes, I do. I have 1 year in, and I did a lot with the veterans, doing the non-perishable food drives. I did ramp installations. I did wood and coal hauling for them. It's been a really good experience.
That's wonderful. And I bet they really appreciate the work that is done at their homes and or the food drives or some of these things that are done in their own community.
Yes.
That's wonderful that you can hear from them about that, and they can tell you those types of things. So for folks who are listening, I'll ask you one more time to run through the jobs that are open, the different half-time and part-time, and the hours that those all require, and then we'll remind everyone of how they can apply as well.
Okay, the ones that are available right away now are the 3 half-time positions, which require 900 hours within the year. And as a Siegel reward, you get $3,172.50. We have 4 quarter-time positions, which require 670 hours within the year. And your Siegel award is $1,678.
Very good. And then a couple of full-time positions?
The full-time.
Those will be later in the year?
Yeah, like I said, the full-time is open one in October and one in December, and that requires 1,700 hours throughout the year with the stipend, and your Siegel reward is $6,345.
Got you. And that will give you the full-time rewards come with a little bit of a cash stipend as well.
Yeah, and that is paid out every 2 weeks.
Got you. And with the hours that you mentioned, are they all kind of divided equally throughout the year, or can someone say, I want to work 40 hours a week every week until I burn off of the 600 hours I have to do for my AmeriCorps job?
You usually have to space it out
Okay.
evenly, because you are required to do it throughout the year. So
you're giving that 12-month commitment, basically,
Yes.
is what folks should understand. And if folks want to apply, what are the steps again? They can call you at the partnership or email you?
Yeah. You could call me, or you can apply online over at AmeriCorps.org.
Okay.
So
And your email address one more time for folks who are listening?
my email address is dealt@sanjuancountypartnership.org, or dealet@sjcpartnership.org.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for coming in this morning to talk about these great opportunities. It's going to be wonderful for folks who are tuning in and maybe looking for something to do later on this summer or even in the fall.
Yeah, that would be really great.
Wonderful. Thank you,
you.
Terri, very much. That's Terri Deale from the San Juan County Partnership, my guest this morning right here on KSJE. KSJE is supported by Sandstone Productions, bringing live theater back this summer. Performances are all at 8 p.m. and all at Lions Wilderness Park. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from July 8th through August 1st, the musical Mamma Mia, featuring the music of ABBA. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows. Mamma Mia, this summer at Lions Wilderness Park. Joining me this morning to talk about his program at the San Juan County Partnership, Douglas Joe is back in the studio. Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Good morning, Scott.
Good to have you here. And remind us, of course, you work with the housing program with the San Juan County Partnership, correct? And some grants?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so there's been some new information about the city of Farmington has given the partnership some money in a community development block grant that you were able to use, right, for
Yes,
to help with folks who are maybe behind in their rent or maybe having some difficulties paying their rent. Give us some details about that.
Yes. This is called is the Community Development Block Grant, and CDBG we call it, and it has to be COVID related.
Right.
And
See, someone's already trying to reach you.
yes.
Ask you about the opportunities.
And
So it's got to be COVID related.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Does it mean that someone maybe lost
like
their
if you
job
caught,
because of COVID?
if you caught COVID, and because of that, maybe you got laid off from your employment, or either that, your hours were cut in half, whatever may be the results, and then being that you got behind on your rent.
Gotcha.
And so now you're trying to catch up. So this is where this COVID-19 CDBG grant comes into play, and then we can help you with 3 months. So let's say you're 2 months behind. So we'll catch you up 2 months. Then we can pay forward 1 more month. So then that's your 3 months there.
Okay.
Or-
So it's 3 months total.
Yeah, 3
but
months
I guess
total.
you can mix it up however it helps the individual, right? So if I'm 3 months behind, you can
Yeah.
maybe catch me back up.
Or either that, you're unable to pay this month, so we can pay this month for you and go forward 2 months.
Gotcha.
So whatever may be the case, but you have to be within the city limits of Farmington, living
Right.
in the city limits. Anything outside, that grant doesn't apply.
Not that one. But you may have some other programs that apply for outside the city
Yes, we
limits.
have other grants available that go beyond the city limits, and you know, when you do call in, we'll do our assessment and see which one you fit into, and if you fit into this COVID-19, we'll put you on this program.
Right.
And if you fit into another program, we'll put you under that grant also.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, but one of the requirements is that you do have to provide certain documentations, and also I have to go over to your place of residence and do an inspection and make sure that it's habitable and make sure it's up to par.
Right.
So that's one of the requirements. So once you pass your inspection, then that's when we start the paperwork process as far as doing your arrears payment or going forward.
Gotcha. And so for folks who are watching us or listening to us this morning, if I'm in that situation, and I live in the city of Farmington, I can call you and try to make an appointment or get more information on how to apply for this particular grant program that's COVID related?
Yes, I have two staff on standby at the office. They'll take your calls. Their numbers are 325-4214, and the other one is 325-1178. So they're there from 7 to 4, and the other one is there from 8 to 5.
Okay.
So, yes, they are available, and we did I guess an intake back on June 28th. So we had several applicants come in, and we did intakes with them. Some of them did qualify for this COVID, but others didn't qualify, so we put them on another grant, and they qualified for that one. So
Gotcha.
either way, you know, we'll process you, and but if you don't fit into the program, there's other programs within San Juan County that also do other housing assistance.
Yeah, it seems to me like there's a lot of programs basically COVID related and,
Yes.
and aid and assistance that's coming in because folks don't want to see a bunch of people evicted or homeless because of the pandemic. And so they're really trying to avoid that by helping folks get caught up with rent or pay rent or whatever the case may be. Is that what you see too?
Yes, exactly. And then even with tenants that are being evicted, you know, I try to see what the reason is behind it and try to work with the tenant or either with the landlords to
Right.
maybe trying to come to some resolution, you know.
Besides
But
eviction.
Besides eviction,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Yes, maybe their eviction is just because they were behind on rent. So then
You can take care of that. You
then
can
we
maybe help with that.
Yeah, then that's where we step in and I talk to the landlord that we can help them catch up.
Right, right.
So
And I guess for landlords too, then maybe they should be paying attention too, because if they do have some tenants who are really good tenants, but they've just fallen on some hard times
Yes.
and can't pay their rent or behind a couple of months, maybe tell them about this program and maybe they can get down to see you.
yes, and the other thing about landlords are they also have a program for landlords where they can apply and get reimbursed for where tenants haven't been paying them. So there is a program for landlords out there too. And if they call my office at 505-566-5869, I can give them that information, the email site for that. Then they can go on there and apply online also.
Right.
So I just found out about that, I believe that was Friday.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
through emails, just looking at it, and I found out that landlords can apply too.
Good to know. And you've been really busy this summer, I must say, because you've had a lot of folks maybe coming to see you, and a lot of these new programs are coming out that you're having to learn about and things along this line. And so, I mean, I would think just despite being busy, the news is good for folks who maybe are finding themselves in trouble financially or what have you when it comes to needing a place to live or staying in the place that they've called home for a while. I mean, these programs are here to help all sorts of people, right?
Yes, and a lot of them do come to our office, and a lot of them are on foot. So, you know, I usually just take them around where they need to go. Maybe they need to apply for the utility gas with the gas company. I'll drive them over there in my POV, and so, or either that, I'll take them to a shelter around here in town,
Right.
have them check in, and then after that, after a couple days there, they'll call us back to our office, and we'll process them.
Right.
And I've done that. I think last week we had one gentleman come in hitchhiking, and I didn't realize he was on foot when he called me, but he rode the bus over to our office, and when I met him, he brought in his backpack and everything. And I said, "Are you on foot?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." So after that, I took him over to a shelter, and he stayed there for a couple of days. Then we processed him.
Gotcha. Because a lot of folks that you have been working with are either almost homeless, are homeless, or they don't really have a place to stay, as opposed to these other folks we've been talking about that are in a rental and maybe
Yes.
just behind on their rent. And so you're dealing with two different types of population, aren't you?
Oh, yes, two different types, and those are already in a unit, yes. So that one is already pretty simple, where we just go in and do the inspection and do the processing the applications and things like that. But those that come to our office that need a unit, that's where I come in, and like I'm helping one this morning. I'm doing the application process with them at my office, and because they don't have access to internet or things like that.
Sure.
So I bring them into my office and help them out with that, scan their IDs and whatnot. And also there are application fees that they have to go with, so we try to figure a way out to pay their application fees.
Right.
So it is, yes, it is a lot of work, and it's just nonstop.
Right. Well, and again, and it could be COVID related. It could not be COVID related, I suppose, too, right? Of why
Yes,
these folks are finding themselves homeless and coming to see you. And of course, homeless can mean a lot of different things. It could mean just in between places, traveling through, living in a car,
Yes.
staying with family,
Or,
whatever the
yes.
case may be, right? You have a lot of definitions for that, don't you?
Yes, or either they got their 3-day notice or their 30-day notice. Now they're being evicted, so they're trying to find a place to go again. So that's where we step into and assist us where we can.
Right.
And it is a lot, and I really thank all the landlords for working with us. You know, it makes my job easier.
Right.
And but there is just so much out there, though.
There really is. That's true. And I don't know if you've been doing this long enough to say, are we seeing more of this now than we were in recent years, or what would you say? I mean, I know because of COVID, we're probably seeing more of those cases, but we always hear about the homelessness problem too.
Well, I just started back in January, so
That's true.
it does seem like since January it is going up now, and COVID related is still there, and we're still putting people in that CDBG grant
Right.
that's COVID related, and we also see a lot more people getting behind on rent, or some of them come to realize that that they do need to pay their arrears. And that's where they're coming to our office for assistance in that area.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was a moratorium, I think, for a while on evictions and things like that. The utility had a moratorium on shutting off utilities for non-payment, and those things are starting to go away,
Yes.
from what I notice.
Yes.
And so are folks saying, oh, holy smokes, I better come up with a way to catch my bill up, my electric bills due, or gas bills due, or what have you. Are you seeing a lot of that?
Yes, and we're seeing that. And the last thing they need is a eviction notice on their background checks. Because
That's right.
Landlords do check their backgrounds, and if there's an eviction notice, they'll be disqualified, obviously, for that reason, unless they come up with a good answer of why they were evicted. But yeah, that's the last thing you need is an eviction notice on your background.
Right. Well, or a shut-off on your utility, too,
Yeah,
right?
you shut
Because
off
then
on
you
your
can't
utility.
get service at
Yeah.
the next apartment, I suppose.
Yeah, because you're going to have to pay your arrears on your utilities. That's not going to go away. It's still going to be under your name.
Right. Or a pretty big deposit, I suppose, for the
Oh,
next
definitely.
the next time. So that's all stuff that you help with, isn't
Yes.
it? Gotcha. Is there any deadlines about these grant funds that maybe you have to spend them by X date, or are they around until they're spent? I mean, I assume you're probably going to spend all of it.
Well, this COVID CDBG grant
Right.
ends the end of September 30th of 2022.
Okay.
So we still have a
2022.
little,
That's
next
over a year
Yeah.
from now. Okay.
A year and a couple of months.
Yeah.
So it's just right around the corner.
Right. And so, so you're hoping to have enough money then to last that whole time, or you think you're going to spend it all and spend to nothing?
Well, we like to spend it all.
Right. You don't wanna give it back.
Yeah, we don't want to give it back. We try to spend it all.
Sure.
And so that's why I'm reaching out to the tenants. If you know of anybody, or you yourself, if it's COVID related that you're behind on rent, give us a call.
Right. Very, very important. My guest this morning, Douglas Joe, is here. He is with the San Juan County Partnership. We're talking about the different housing assistance programs that he oversees, as well as his work to help find homes for the homeless. And that's a big part of what you do, right, is to find places that are deemed habitable for folks who have no other place to go, and working with landlords or shelters for temporary housing and things like that for a lot of the folks who are coming into town, right?
Yes, I do that, and they are I'll probably do like about 2 a week, and sometimes 3. Just depends on the availability of shelters that's open to that they refer. Then also from Total Behavioral Health, and we also work with Presbyterian Medical Services, where they refer participants to.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So.
Very good. And that really, I would think, can mean a big difference for folks who maybe don't have a place to go and then come into town and meet you, and you're able to find a place for them to stay, whether it's a shelter for a few days and then a permanent apartment or what have you. I mean, that could be a big game changer, life changer, can it? To have a stable place to call home and then work on maybe finding a job or being able to get to work every day and not have to worry about where I'm going to sleep tonight and all these different problems that homelessness brings?
Yes, and it's interesting that those that do come into town, they talk among themselves and they pass my name around. So in the morning, I usually get phone messages, or they call me directly on my office number, and I talk to them. They say, hey, so-and-so told me to give you a call so you could assist me. I'm just got here in town last night. I said, oh, okay, so I'll meet up with him or her, and then start the process from there.
Right. But for folks that maybe you've helped in January, I mean, do you follow up with them to see how they're doing and things along that line? And so 6 months later, I mean, what can you tell us about some of these folks?
Well, yeah, we do follow-ups, because some of them still have maybe unsure about how long they're going to be staying there. Then I reassure them that we are still paying their rent or helping out with their arrears. Or either that, the landlords will give me a phone call or a text. Maybe something has come up, so I'll go by there and check, or either meet with the caseworker, that participant. So yes, it's nonstop. It's just that communication between myself, the participant, and also the landlords.
Right.
So landlords do have my cell number. I give them my numbers, and they'll give me a call and say, so-and-so, can you go check up on him or her? So I'll do that, and also, if I can't, I'll let the caseworker know.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of these folks individuals, or do some have families as well? Maybe they've
some
got
have
kids with
families
them
as well. Yes.
and trying to find a place for that, right?
Yes. Yeah, I got one family yesterday, so I was trying to help them with a 3-bedroom apartment they're looking for.
Okay.
So we do have that, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms that we've been looking for them.
Got you. And I want to make sure we understand that maybe homelessness does not mean jobless necessarily, right? Some people are going to work and holding down a job. They just don't have a place to sleep at night.
Yes, that's it. You know, they have income, so then we do a calculation as how much our program will pay and how much they'll be paying into the rental. So yeah, there is a calculation for that too. So just because you have a job and that you're homeless doesn't mean that we're not going to help you. We'll still assist you.
Right.
And to see which grant you fall under.
And that's important for folks to understand, because maybe they think they don't qualify.
Yeah. Then most of them don't. I think 60% of them are unemployed. So we do still try to help them out as much as we can. Then they also look for employment once we house them. And
Right.
some of them are able to find employment, which is
Right.
good.
That is good.
Yes.
And I think a lot of folks would like to hear that, but again, if you know where you're going to sleep tonight, it's a lot easier then to concentrate on maybe the next thing you need to do, which is to find a job or to get some other things moving in the right direction or better direction, right?
Yes. And I'll give them all that information, let them know that there's jobs available here, there, wherever.
Right.
In Farmington or in Western San Juan County, who's hiring.
It does seem like a lot of folks are hiring these days, which is maybe good for the job market, I suppose, right?
Yes.
For folks who are looking. But again, they need a place to live.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a problem. And you've seen a lot of situations. I think you've told me in previous visits with me that, you've seen folks that do live in their car, they pitch a tent, they don't have a permanent place to call home.
Yes, I brought in one back in January. We're living out towards Navajo Dam. He was living in a tent.
In January, in the middle of winter?
Yeah, in the winter, yeah. I got a word through the grapevine that we had a gentleman out there living in a tent. So I went out there and I found him. So then I brought him in and we processed him. And now he's in an apartment here in Farmington. And brought in all his stuff. So he's happy there.
Right. Well, I would hope so, and that's got to be a big, obviously a big difference and a big change, though, for
Yes.
him and again, and for his life and for his family to know that he is safe and things along that line too.
Oh, definitely.
So
yeah,
that's really important.
it is.
Well, Douglas, let's wrap up our conversation this morning and just recap. You've got money from the city of Farmington through the special Community Development Block Grant, the
Yeah.
CDBG, and it's available for to help folks find apartments and get out of homelessness in the city limits.
Yes, within the city limits.
For
where we
problems that are COVID
It's
related.
a 3-month program that we
Right.
can help you with your arrears, or if you get behind on rent. And then let's say you're 1 month behind, we'll pay that 1 month back for you, and they do 2 months forward for you.
Right. So I misspoke. It's not necessarily folks who are homeless. These are folks maybe just who
Yeah.
have an apartment but having trouble paying the rent or utilities because of a COVID-related issue.
Definitely.
That's what
Yes.
this money is
Yeah,
used
that's
for.
what this one is
Pardon
for.
me.
Yeah.
And so, as you mentioned, right, you can do 3 months max, and so that could be 3 months back, 3 months forward, 2 months back, 1 month forward, whatever that combination
Yeah, it's
is.
3 months max.
Up to
period.
3 months. And so folks can call your office to see if they apply, see if they qualify,
Yes, and you have to be living within the city limits of Farmington.
correct?
Yes.
And what's the number again if we want to call you to make an appointment to see if we would qualify for this particular program?
505-325-4214 or 325-1178.
Okay. And that's the number to call everybody for that. And then you were talking about intake days, and these are certain days of the month when folks can come in to talk to you about these other programs that you offer?
Yeah, just 8 to 5.
Okay.
We're at
Monday through Friday?
Yeah, Monday through Friday. We're at 1515 East 20th, Suite C,
Okay.
and it's just right across the Grease Monkey business, or right next door to Durango Joe on 20th.
Right there.
Yes.
Okay. That's why you're always so awake. You've got a good supply of coffee right next door.
Just a walk away.
Right. That's a pretty good perk. So there you go. Well, it's always great to visit with you and learn about the work that you're doing, and to hear that, when you're driving out to places like Navajo Dam to look for someone who maybe is living in a tent and then setting them up with an apartment.
Yes.
I mean, that's a little bit above and beyond, but
Yes.
it's great that we're able to provide that for our fellow residents and community members. I think that's an important reflection back on a community when we can house everybody.
Oh, yes.
Keep
Definitely.
them safe and warm or cool, no matter what the season is. So, Douglas, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the work that you do.
Yes, thank you too, Scott, for
You-
having me.
You bet. Great to see you. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. That is Douglas Joe from the San Juan County Partnership, my guest right here on KSJE.